Mr. Benny Appice.
Hello, everybody. That was Last in Line. What song was that? That was Sword in the Stone from the second album. I love that song. I love those chords in the chorus, you know. Those kind of minory. So much stuff in there as a drummer. All right, so welcome to Tuesday. Happy 4th of July, 2 days late. And I hope you guys had a good 4th of July. I did, and went down and saw family. Actually, I seem to be the guy in the family that fixes everything for everybody, because I like to do that. And some of you know I'm a kind of a computer nerd. So I had to bring a laptop down, a big monitor, wireless keyboard, all that stuff, and hook it up and transfer all the data over for my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, while they were out having burgers in the yard. And then I went to my sister's house, and I had to fix some of her air vents in her house on this crawl space kind of thing. And then I got to put in a, Ring camera. I never put one of those in. I have cameras, but not a Ring. So that was good. And then we actually had nothing to do yesterday, and we went to, she lives near the President Nixon Library. I've never been to a library. Well, I've been to a library, but not presidential. That was pretty cool. I didn't know, I just want to check it out. Why not, right? So it was cool, but on the way home on 4th of July, we didn't really see any fireworks. Everybody was shooting them everywhere, but we didn't go see a show. But on the way home, on what freeway? The 5 into the 57, there were things going on. This was like at 10:30 at night. There were things going on left and right of the freeway. Just an amazing show we saw. And we kept driving, and boom, boom, boom. Then it stopped for a second, then some more. And these were really big fireworks. So that was an amazing show because we were moving, and the show kept changing. So, but I kept my eyes on the road, I didn't vary off, You guys should hear my headphones. You probably couldn't take it. There's a lot of distortion in it because, first of all, I like a little bit distortion in it, so it sounds bigger. But there's a lot, A little bit of funky. That never hurts. I like playing that kind of stuff. I'm playing kind of same groove all the time, but and then some fills in it. A lot of grace notes. you a little bit more what that is in a little bit. So it's great. I was watching you guys come online. Heidi, Jace, Beats, Paul, Steve, who else? Mike Carr. Mike, I didn't play a song today. Next week. And his brother Matt. And everybody's saying hello to each other. This is kind of like a weekly clubhouse meeting. And that's real cool. Thank you guys for always tuning in, support this. And I love doing it. I always said that. And Sawtooth and ChromaCast, these guys keep this going. We're going on over a year now. But I must say, next week, I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving on, remember that song? Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. I know when I'll be back again. The following week. I don't know what happened to, what was that, Peter, Paul, and Mary. The only reason why I know that is my sister used to listen to that stuff. I hated it. So how come she didn't know when she was going to be back? Like, they didn't have the internet back then, so you couldn't book the ticket. Like, okay, I'm going to return on July 19th. And am I returning? Yeah, I'm returning on Monday. So I don't understand why she didn't know she was coming back. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know if I have any checked baggage. I mean, what's going on with that? And I'm going to meet Lala's parents and her family because I'm going to do a Crypticon event in Kansas City, Missouri. Is it Missouri? Yeah. And that's on the following weekend, not next weekend, the weekend after, like the 17th, weekend of the 17th. So we're going to go to Iowa first, hang out with her parents and her sister and all her family. And then we're going to drive over to Kansas City. So if anybody's in the area, come down to Crypticon, man. Those things are fun. A lot of monsters there. I'm there. Drum Monster. And it's a lot of fun. I love doing them. I love meeting all these movie people. And, a lot of stars from the horror movies. Not the new ones, but more the old ones. Freddy Krueger. Sometimes Elvira's there. It's real cool. It's real fun. And you get to see these people up close, asking questions, all that stuff, So we're going to stop in Iowa first. So I'm going to meet Mr. and Mrs. Lollipop. So I think I'm going to say, hi, Mrs. Lollipop. I'm Vinny. Nice to meet you, Mr. Lollipop. I heard a lot about you. Nice to meet you. Yes, we're taking care of the two turtles. They're doing fine and all that. So it should be fun. This is the first time, I never get to go leaving on a jet plane. And usually when I'm leaving on a jet plane, on the way over, I'm thinking, okay, we got to rehearse. What's the ending of that song? We're doing this song. We're going to add that new song. Am I doing a drum solo? Oh, not that. And I'm always thinking about what we're doing, and I got to play. I hope my hands are in shape and all that stuff. But this time, there's no playing involved. This is like a vacation. First half will be a vacation to go to Des Moines and just hang out. They're going to have a barbecue and go maybe to a couple of antique stores so I can buy or find some antique toys. I love those toys. And all that stuff, so I don't have to, there's no pressure. It's amazing, I rarely get to go anywhere when I'm not playing. So I always go when I'm playing. these things could be a song written on top of it. You know, that feel. See, I'm repeating myself. And this is like if you, like a guitar player would repeat a riff. It becomes a song. You know, if I was just playing this kind of feel and just going all over the place, like, you couldn't really grasp it so much like that. Whoa, what the heck's going on there? You know, because it's changing all the time. So this is what I tell a lot of drummers, and actually musicians in general. You got to repeat yourself, and when you repeat it, it becomes more like a lick or a riff. You know, like now I'll play the feel, but repeat it. You know, vary it a little bit and repeat it. See? That becomes like danceable. It becomes a groove. It's really cool. And then when I do the fills, they're all steady. All the drummers watching. Even when I get to the floor, it's really steady, you know? Steady, so locks right in, and that's the cool trick of making yourself sound good. I always say that you got everything you do has got to be steady. So coming up, of course, leaving on the jet plane on Saturday the 10th. That's Ronnie James Dio's birthday, and that's when they're going to do a big thing on the internet, a big stream. It's not a stream. They're just putting together a massive video of 1 million people in celebration of Ronnie's life and his birthday. And that's going to be, of course, on the day I'm leaving, which sucks. I don't know if they're going to repeat it, which may suck too. So I'm going to find out when it's on, and you can probably find out from Ronnie's site. RonnieJamesDio.com, and they'll list it there. Because Carmine and I did something together. So we did a little drum routine. He was in Florida, I'm here in California, and we got this routine we do. So we mapped it out, who's playing what. We're playing together. We're playing, he plays, I play, he plays, then I play, you know, all that stuff. And it took a while, you know, like, I record audio in here all the time, drums, and it's so easy. It's cool. I got it down. You know, I could punch in. Sometimes I could punch in. You know, right? That's the tempo. I listen and I want to punch in right here. I go boom. You don't even hear the punch. Sometimes you do, but I punch in right in because I'm a drummer. Time. So we did something together. So now when you add the video camera, which I used a GoPro I dug out of my drawer, it's an older one, but it worked. I went, cool. And the thing with these cameras, because I got a wireless keyboard, which you can see on the floor. I didn't mean to leave it on the floor. I just thought I'd put it down, and that was out of camera range. But that's what that white thing is over there. That's a wireless keyboard. And that's how I run the audio interface. I can punch in, I can stop, I can play it back, I can make it lower, which I probably always make it louder, not lower. And then I work it from here. So the GoPro, you can put it on your phone and work the start and stop on the phone. So, took me. I didn't like 17 times to do it, to play this thing, and why 17 times? Because I did it the first couple of times. I didn't really like what I played, Carmine played first. I like when he plays first. This way I can try to match it or make him sound bad, So, no, I'm kidding. Then I do about 5 or 6 of them. All right, there's a bunch of them in there. And you can't edit it. It's on video. So you got to send the video with that audio of that particular take. And then I look at the video and I go, oh, on the screen, because on the phone it's small and it's dark. I go, shit, now I got to do it again. So, okay, set it up, put more light, put that light down there on and more light. Then I start doing it, and then I start again. Nah, I don't like that. Maybe I should play something else. So anyway, after 17 times, the camera moved, and then the camera stopped working, then the battery went dead. Video is a nightmare. I hate it. So easy to do audio. Okay, so anyway, I'm going off on this. So this thing's going to be a video on Ronnie's birthday, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'll tell you who's going to be on it, okay? So far, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's Eddie Trunk, and Eddie Trunk. Matt Pinfield, he's a big DJ out here in KLOS. Good guy, plays rock. And again, they're going to have interviews and all that stuff. We're going to have greetings from Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. We know those guys. Teddy Zigzag from Guns N' Roses. Carmine Appice from Vanilla Fudge, Beck Bogart, and Appice. Vinny Applesauce from Dio, Black Sabbath. I'm reading this. Okay. Michael Angelo Badio from Nitro. Plays like this. Monster guitar player. Joey Belladonna, Gilby Clarke from Guns N' Roses. We got Melody from Liliac. Ainsley Dunbar, played with a million people. Lita Ford. Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple, Black Country Communion. Terry, singer from Great White. L.A. metal band Liliac. Oh, are they going to be on? Maybe the whole band's going to be on. Sean McNabb, good buddy of mine. Played with Quiet Riot, Dokken, Jeff Pilson. Oh, Quiet Riot, Dokken. Got Jeff Pilson, my good buddy. I'm real good buddies with all the bass players. He played with Foreigner, Dio, and Dokken, of course. And then another good friend, Rudy Sauza. He's a bass player. Quiet Riot, played with Ozzy. Glenn Sobel, Alice Cooper, Hollywood Vampires. LaJean Witherspoon from Seven Dust. I don't know him. Brent Woods from Sebastian Bach. He's a good buddy in a band called Wildside. Members of this later on Dio band. Simon Wright on drums, right? Oni Logan, Scott Warren, and Paul Shortino. Okay? Paul didn't really play in Dio, but he played with those guys. And Rowan Robinson. Hang on. The Dio band was Scott Warren, Oni Logan, Simon Wright, Bjorn England. Sounds like England. Rowan Robinson and Paul Shortino. And on that it says, with fellow castmate Paul Shortino. Oh, I guess that was because of the Raiding the Rock Vault in Las Vegas. Paul was in that, and so was Rowan. And then Eddie Trunk, I said that. And who else? Wyn Davis, who produced a couple of the later Dio albums. I worked with him. He's a great guy, great producer. And Wendy Dio, she's going to be on that as well. So stay tuned Saturday the 10th, because I'll be on a plane. Okay, I wish I had the keyboard over here because I need to move something, but what the heck. So anyway, also like to thank ChromaCast and Sawtooth for sponsoring this. And they're pushing the snare drum, which is the snare drum I'm using. This is a 6.5-inch all hickory. I'm going to take it out so you can see it. Look at that. It's hard to see the color. I got colored lights on it. It's got a great throw off too. There's the throw off over there, and I got an Evans head on there. This is a great drum. You can see it, right? Looks nice with the colors on it. Look at the badge on it. You know. Oh. Professional stuff here. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. This is all Lala. Hello. So this is all hickory, 6 plies of hickory. No filler, no crappy wood, nothing like that. It's got die-cast hoops, really strong, really loud. It's got a great tone. And steel lugs, everything's steel, and it's got dual 45 bearing edges. So this thing really screams, you know. You could hear that. It's got a nice tone to it, and it rings for a long time. So check it out. There's 20% off on the snare drum, and if you do the app, ChromaCast app, it's 20% off everything, and even airplane tickets. No, I'm kidding. No. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about that snare drum. So check that out, and this is the snare drum I use. That's why they call it Vinny Appice's secret weapon. Okay, we got some time. I'm going to show a couple of real quick things. Okay, Lala?
Yes, that's fine.
What'd you say?
I said, yes, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Do you hear me tell the people I'm going to say to your parents, hello, Mrs. Lollipop? Mr. Lollipop?
Yes.
Are you going to walk out of the room?
I probably will.
Hello, Mr. Lollipop. I'm Vinny. Anyway, all this stuff. Makes it kind of funky. I'll break it down real quick. These are 4s, 6s, and 7s. A 4 is right, left, left foot. That's all that is, right? And my left hand's on the snare drum, right hand's on the hi-hat, and the right foot, of course, is on the bass drum. So the trick to these are playing the snare drum hits light. So you hear the bass drum and the right hand. So it's not like this. You can do that once in a while, but the sound is good. Faster. See, that's the 4. Now you got a 6. You add 2 in front of the 4. Or right, left, left foot. Right, left. That's the sticking. Right, left foot. Right, left foot. See? Slow. Up. Faster. Slow. Then a 7 is a 3 and a 4. 3 is right, left foot, right, left foot. Same position on the hands. Right hand's on the hi-hat. All right, so I don't really use it as a 3, but it's part of the 7. That's 3, and then the 4 is the 4 I showed you before, which is right, left foot. Right? So here's a 3. Here's the 4. Slow. I'm gonna play the whole thing. See, 7 has a groove of its own when you start speeding it up. So you got a 4, 6, 7, 7 with the 4 in the beginning. So that's what all this stuff is. And then what you do is you start putting it on different drums. Like the 4 could be, instead of hitting the hi-hat, I go to the tom, then I go back to the hi-hat. 6. 7. Okay, and then when you put them together, gets all these great, put it into a funk groove. So the whole trick is to play the left hand low, quietly. All right. Okay. So that's 6 4s and 7s, a real brief instructional part of the show. And now we got Lala Lollipop in the house. Hi, Lala.
Hi.
Everybody says hi to you, as you can see. There's more highs to you than highs to me. That's okay. I got high a lot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that in my early years. Anyway, let's take some questions from the audience. Okay.
Will there be any meet and greets for the Last in Line shows coming up?
Yes, there's going to be meet and greets. Actually, I'm going to put something up because that's my job. I do this stuff. I'm going to put something up this week. We're going to do a meet and greet, but we're not going to be slobbering over each other, We're going to be a little bit more careful, than with the touching and all that stuff. But we'll sign stuff and we'll do pictures. And usually we do a sound check thing, too. So you come down and watch us mess up the sound check and forget parts of the song because we haven't played in a year and a half. So we will be doing them. Stay tuned for sure. Okay.
Do you sing?
Do I sing? Not really. I could sing background or Leaving on the Jet Plane. Leaving on a jet plane. Remember that song, Lala?
I do remember it.
She doesn't know when she'll be back again. She didn't go to Expedia
No,
or
she did not.
go on the internet and all that stuff. I don't understand where she went. I don't think she ever came back.
I think they'll think so.
Man. Okay. Next question.
What did you have to eat on the 4th of July? Mr. Mike Carr wants to know.
Hey, Mike Carr, you want to know how it wasn't chilly like in Ohio? We had a barbecue, but one of the family members, Daniel, he's a great barbecuer, but he didn't cook the burgers enough. They looked fantastic. They didn't stick to the grill. I asked him what the secret of that was, and he said he rubs canola oil on the grill, even when it's hot, and then puts the burgers on. Because I try to do that, and it sticks when you turn it, and half the burger falls down into the bottom. So we had that, and hot dogs, corn, What else? What else did we have?
Uh,
Broccoli.
broccoli. No, we didn't have broccoli.
Oh, I made it up. So it sounded like we eating healthy. Beans.
Beans.
Beans. Beans. And that makes me go. Oh, yeah, that's a bean. So we did that. And tonight, yesterday we went to Mexican food after we went to the presidential library. And we went for Mexican food already. So we're not going tonight, Taco Tuesday. But we have leftovers. Lots of them. So we're going to make something from that. I like going out to eat, but we're going to do that. Okay, next question.
What is your favorite color or colors? Jace wants to know.
Who does?
Jace. Jace.
Hey, Jace. Hi, Jace.
Jace,
Hi.
Jace.
Tell your sister hi, little Angel and little Jace. These guys, I mean, how old are you guys? 7, 8? They came to the sound check when I was in Ohio, stayed all day, went to the sound check for the 2 gigs, stayed all night. These guys rock. They rock out. Amazing. My favorite colors is, I don't know. Depends. I like black until they invent a darker color. Black. Now, I like different colors. Probably, I would say maybe a grayish blue. Something like that. Okay.
The funniest thing that happened when you're setting up for the show.
What?
The funniest thing that happened when you were setting up for a show.
I'll tell you a funny thing that happened when I was setting up for a show. When I first joined Black Sabbath, this is 1980. I don't know how old I was, 22. And Bill Ward left the tour, and then all of a sudden, they called me. It got 4 days, a quick rehearsal, and then we played. The first gig was a 30,000-seat arena in, actually, stadium thing in Hawaii, Honolulu. But then the next gig was in the States at an arena, and Bill left the band, so he wasn't on the tour now, and his drum tech was good buddies with Bill. And he chose to, after a couple of gigs, to leave as well. So we get to the gig for sound check, and my drums are just in cases. And they said, Vinny, whatever his name was, is gone. And you got to be kidding me. Serious? All right, well, we'll have to help me try to set these drums up then, you know. So I had to set the drums up. You know, I got a little help, but I still set them up, and I know the way they should go anyway. So that was a crack up, because here we are playing this sold-out arena tonight, and I'm setting my drums up. You know, it's like, what am I playing, a wedding here or something, or what's going on? So it wasn't that funny, but it was a shock and a surprise, you know. Usually funny stuff happens during the show, you know. But then when somebody asks you, hey, what's the funniest thing that, and then you can't think of anything. But one show, you know, I told you about the smoke machines back there. This is with Sabbath. They used to throw big pieces of dry ice into big oil drums of hot water to make smoke. And they had fans down on the tubes. And that big oil drum of hot water was behind the drums. So we played someplace in England, and we're playing the song Black Sabbath, and they throw the dry ice in, and it's supposed to make smoke, but instead it blew up for some reason, and the water went 20 feet in the air, including with the dry ice in pieces, and it just went all the way up and all the way down on the drums. So the drums were like, there was nothing left, you know, like that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, shit. And Tony Geezer and Ronnie are laughing. They're looking at me going, you know, oh, shit. And I'm all wet. The drums are wet. And then all of a sudden, my rear end is burning. My ass is burning. Oh, man. Then I figured out dry ice went down the back of my pants. I mean, the back of my pants probably had an opening about an inch, and dry ice fell in there. So I went, oh, man, I got to go. I got to go to the medic. I got up and ran off the stage, and this is 10,000 people, sold out place, you know. We had to stop the show because they had to wipe it up anyway. then we all went off, and I had to go to the medics, and there was only 2 women there, and I had to pull my pants down and show them my fanny, and then they had to peel off the dry ice because it sticks to your skin, so it rips your skin and all that. Then they had to apply gently anti-burn lotion, and I had to do that for about a week, and then I went back on that night with a pillow. Everything was dry. So that was one of the craziest things ever happened. But now you can go buy, I think it's 7-Eleven, a smoke machine for like $29.99, like a little box that makes smoke. But back then you had to have oil drums, hot water, and dry ice. It's crazy. Okay.
How did you feel about playing Madison Square Garden for the first time since you're from New York?
I'm from New York. Madison Square Garden was like, wow, Madison Square Garden. Holy shit, this is amazing. Of course, I was just totally jazzed up about this and totally excited. I get to play Madison Square Garden. Oh, my God. So that time I played was 1976, and I was playing with Rick Derringer, a band called Derringer, and we were opening for Aerosmith. So I played it as an opening act, and it was exciting. The opening act means you're in front of their gear, the whole line, and, little tiny drum riser, and, a little sound, but it was still fun, Then a couple of years later, I'm playing Madison Square Garden with Sabbath, and it's a whole different thing, the big stage setup we had, bigger drum set, obviously, riser, the whole thing, big ass monitors, and it was packed, just packed. It just felt like a giant club almost. People was just going crazy. And that was the shit right there. That was like totally exciting, playing Madison Square Garden like that. And it was exciting. I always lived in LA to play the Forum out here as well. That was incredible as well. But not as much as Madison Square. That's pretty famous. So, okay.
What kind of antique toys do you like to collect? Mrs. Jade wants to know.
Jade?
Yes.
Jade, who edits all my postings and tells me questions them and says, really? And then I look and I made a mistake. I put down we were doing a rock fantasy camp in April 2021. Be there. And she sent me something like, really? You talking about this year? Then I look, I go, what a a-hole. I put it to the wrong year. That Jade? Lala?
Yeah, Jade. Angelo's Jade.
Yeah, Angelo's Jade.
Yes.
Yeah, she's my editor online. She corrects me when I'm wrong. Which is not. Antique toys, man. I don't know. Toys. Cars, the metal ones, the old ones. What else do I have? Rocket ships, flying saucers, all that stuff. Robbie the Robot and the one from Lost in Space. I don't know if he had a name. I think he's known as the robot from Lost in Space. So that's why I like going to this Crypticon that I'm going to be doing next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend. And guess you can find stuff like that, cool posters and figurines. I love Frankenstein, all that stuff, So again, I won't be here next week, but I'll be here the week after. And they'll probably show a rerun. A rerun. That's funny. Okay. Let's take a couple more.
What is the trickiest thing about playing with 2 drum sets at the same time?
2 drummers?
Yeah, 2 drummers with the 2 sets.
Okay, the trickiest thing of playing with 2 drummers is counting. And I've been doing this with Carmine for 15 years already, so we got it down. But you got to count, especially go, hey, let's take 4x solos, and that means you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Next guy. 2, 3, 4. Then he stops. So that's the trickiest thing is to count it out and make sure you're in time with the other guy. Usually when you haven't played with somebody, it's hard to do. So I did this in Europe with a known drummer. I won't say who it was. He said, all right, let's just take fours, you know. And it wasn't fours. It was avant-garde, you know, play whatever. It could be that short. And, oh, okay, you finished? Now I go. It could be whatever. So that's like an avant-garde thing. And if you're playing a song, it's you know, listen to what the other guy's playing. What I like to do, if he's playing, I'll play against that on the ends. Can't hear it because I'm playing alone, but I'm on the ends, so it's going boom, boom, bop, 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 bop. Because I'm used to doing it with my brother Carmine. So it's a cool thing to practice, but gives you a sense of timing. So if you can do that, do that. Invite your friend over. You got 2 drum sets, do a little drum battle, you know. Then see what happens. Okay, one more question.
Okay, let's see. What's your favorite song to play off of Heaven and Hell?
Off of the Heaven and Hell album?
Yes.
Well, I didn't play on that album, but I love Heaven and Hell. You know, I love that song. And if you notice, you know, it comes in. Then when it goes to the verse, it slows down. A lot of players don't play that. Like that. Slows down ever so slightly to get into that hell mode. So, but that's a fun song to play. And then it's got the fast part. Sorry, got carried away. Okay, so anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and have a great rest of the week. And I'll be leaving on a jet plane. And don't forget to watch Ron James Dio birthday special that's going to be on. Check out his website. And I'll put it up here on Facebook when I find out as well where the link is, okay? Thanks again, guys. You take care. Bye.